Welcome back to the next video. In today's video I will show you how to use Suspense with React Native. So if you don't know what Suspense is, so Suspense is kind of like, suppose if you have a component which do some kind of a heavy computational work or API call, and it takes some time. So instead of showing a blank screen, you can wrap your component with a suspense and provide a fallback component. So suppose if I am doing some API call in in a component, and that takes around 10 to 15 seconds, I can wrap that component with a suspense and provide a fallback of like an activity indicator or a progress bar. Now you might be thinking that this is we can do this without suspense as well. Yes, that is correct, but I don't know what are the advantages of suspense. But I think that is the recommended way of showing complex UIs or heavy computational UIs, so that you can handle it in a, like React handles it in a better way, and it is the recommended way from the React team itself. So I will be showing it how to do with React Native. So first of all, to do it with React Native, you must be at least on version 69 or 70 of React Native. I'm using React Native version 72, which is the latest version at the time of this recording. So you must be at least on, I think, 70 or 71, I don't know, but inside your package.json you should be using React 18. And secondly, suspense is not supported in the React Native's old architecture. So even though if you have not enabled the new architecture and your package.json is pointing to React 18, it is not exactly using React 18, it uses React 17 behind the scenes. So even if you are using React Native 69, 70, 71, 72, and it is pointing to React 18 and you have not enabled the new architecture, it suspense won't work as far as I know. So yeah, you will have to enable the new architecture for your React Native application. So for Android, all you have to do is you have to just search for new arc enabled. Go to your React Native project, search for new arc enabled. It should be in the gradle.properties file. Make this as true. And for iOS, you will have to cd to your iOS directory in terminal and then run this command. So once you run this command, the new architecture will be enabled for you. Now what I have done is to give you an example of how to use suspense inside my app.tsx. I have just wrapped a component in suspense. So this is a suspense. So my components is a component which makes an API call. So it is kind of, it will take some time to render on the screen. And here I am showing a fallback of activity indicator. So previously, if you weren't using suspense, then you might have to use a state. I think that might be causing unnecessary re-rendering. I think so. I'm not exactly sure, and that's the uh, issue which suspense is trying to tackle. According to me, so here this is the fallback which will be displayed, like this is an activity indicator which will be displayed until this component is properly rendered. So here if you see in my components, all I am doing is I am making an API call. So here is data, set data, and use state of empty array. And here I have set a promise for the pending status. The status is pending at the start, and this is our result. So here you can see I'm making this API call to this URL, and like this is an open source URL. You can also use the same, and I'm just using fetch call. Once I call the API and I get some data, then I'm setting the data and wrapping it around our wrap promise method, which I have defined over here. So if you get a data, then the result is equal to res and status is equal to success. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just taking a flat list over here and just displaying those items. So if I show you guys now, so we'll just move it over here. We'll quickly refresh this. So here I'm not sure if you have seen it. So it displays activity indicator, then it displays a flat list. So it is pretty quick, but still a network call may take some time. Sometimes if your server is slow or if the user's network is slow. I will refresh it once again. So here you can see it displays an activity indicator just for us a millisecond, and then it displays our flat list. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.